Hola, senores, it is I, Señor Batman, with your Week 1 preview show. Football season is here. Football Americano, at least, and it's time for football. Denver faces Baltimore tonight, and the fantasy football season begins. So let's get right into the previews. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, user pick versus RG3PO. In quarterback, you have Matt Ryan in RG3. Let's try that again. User pick has Matt Ryan. RG3PO has RG3. It's kind of hard to see these teams, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in like a base or something. Hopefully you can see that better. User pick has Matt Ryan, Jamal Charles, Alfred Morris, Andre Johnson, Vincent Jackson, Jason Witten, David Wilson, Mark Ingram, Broncos D, and Mason Crosby. RG3PO has RG3. Get this a little more zoomed in. LeSean McCoy, Chris Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Demaryius Thomas, Antonio Gates, Dwayne Bowe, Jordy Nelson, Texans D, and Garrett Hartley. Basically, this is the way I see it. ESPN predicting it's going to be 140 RG3PO to 133 user pick. So basically, difference of 7 points. I think it's going to be about that close, but I think it could go either way. I'm going to give RG3PO a slight edge just on the flex positions. You got Dwayne Bowe and Jordy Nelson, and over here you got David Wilson and Mark Ingram. Although David Wilson goes absolutely apeshit against Dallas on Sunday night, maybe this is a whole different story, and user pick is walking away with a win on week 1 against RG3PO. But that's just me. So I think it's going to be close. I really do. I think this is probably one of the closer matchups. They're all pretty close this actually, but this might be a very big matchup. It's going to be close. So now let's go back to the next matchup. So, like I said, RG3PO is going to win that. Excuse me, I need something. I need to wash my throat's dry. Just give me a second. I need to drink something. Much better. Much better. I can already feel my voice coming back to me. Okay, let's get back to the preview. We're going to go to Slay City Slayers versus Team Megatron. Team Megatron, what kind of name is that shit? I guess it's a name, but come on, let's think of something. It's a little bit better than 8. Team Megatron, are you serious? Give me a break. So your whole team is Calvin Johnson? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know, man. You need to get some shit going with your team name. Anywho, Slay City Slayers has Matthew Stafford, Ray Rice, Steven Jackson, AJ Green, Randall Cobb, Brandon Myers, Stephen Ridley, Antonio Brown, Bengals D, and Dan Bailey. Whereas Team Megatron, who needs a better team name, has Tom Brady, Ahmed Bradshaw, Ryan Matthews, Calvin Johnson, No One, Jimmy Graham, Deshaun Jackson, Giovanni Bernard, 49ers D, and Sebastian Janikowski. Okay, first off, Team Megatron, set your freaking roster. It's Thursday football. I mean, I understand you really don't need anyone necessarily right now. I mean, until Sunday, but get your roster set, my friend. I need to do my write-ups next week in my preview shows. And look, you got nothing, so I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do something nice. Basically, you move in Anquan Bolden to this empty spot right here because he made a trade. Bradshaw, Matthews, that'll probably stay similar, but if I had to guess, in the flex, he's got Deshaun Jackson, Giovanni Bernard. He also got Eddie Lacy in a trade. So I think Lacy's going to probably go in for Bernard. That's just my guess. I don't know. Maybe he'll take Jackson out instead. I'm not sure. But regardless, the way I see this is the same way ESPN sees it. They say Slay City Slayers is going to get 140 points and that Team Megatron 117. Now, of course, you can't incorporate the 2 changes that I just mentioned that he probably will make. But, that being said, I do think Slay City Slayers walks away week 1 and shows that his team is the real deal. Hold on, let me refocus this a little bit. There you go. No, like now you can see me, but you can't see. There, I mean, we'll just fucking leave it. Fuck this shit. Anyways, So that's basically that. So I think Team Megatron takes a loss this first week. I mean, Ed Lacy could become pretty big. He could be a good player, but I don't think against San Francisco. I think the first week, probably nothing great. But I think that once he puts his Anquan Bolden, I'm sure he'll project him about 10 points, I guess. I don't fucking know or something. It's just some like shit like that. So it'll be 140 to 127, and maybe they bump up some more stuff. But they're projecting Giovanni Bernard to get 12 points. And let's be serious. Is he really going to get 12 points this week? He's not even the starter. ESPN's a little bit on crack with their fucking projections or something. Alright, let's go back to the standings. Oh no, the scoreboard. Let's get that. Fucking throat. It's getting dry. I'm not getting good at talking anymore. Oi, take some strong shake. Put some hair on your fucking chest. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Okay. What's my name? Who am I? Oh. Anywho, let's get to the next matchup. Hernandez and Change versus Team Roy. Team Roy, it's week 1, you need team name. I'm gonna be nice to you, but I could change it. And if I change it, it's going to be that something you probably don't want it to be. So just pick something. It's not a big deal. Alright, let's get to the deal here. Hernandez and Chains has Colin Kaepernick. Let's move that over so you can see it. There you go. Colin Kaepernick, AJ Peterson, Darren McFadden, Wes Welker, Julio Jones, Jermaine Gresham, Maurice Jones-Drew, Sidney Rice, Steelers D, and Matt Prater against Team Roy's team of Peyton Manning, Ian Foster, Dan Sproles, Reggie Wayne, Torrey Smith, Kyle Rudolph, Mike Wallace, Malcolm Floyd, Cardinals D, and David Akers. They are projecting this to be an even push. That this matchup is so close, they're projecting to be even. I don't think it will be. I'm looking at these teams, and I'll be honest, it's a very hard decision, but I think it all comes down to what Peyton Manning does tonight. Because Peyton Manning goes against Baltimore. Baltimore is known for their defense, but there's been a lot of changes. Depending on what happens there, I think, just by looking at this, it's going to be really close, but I'm going to take Hernandez and Chains, and I'm really by the slice of mark. It really could go either way. I agree with ESPN, these projections. It's something. Basically, they say both of you are going to score 122. I think they're probably right. You guys are going to be very, very close, and really, it just depends on some of these question mark players. I'll give, for instance, Hernandez and Chains, Darren McFadden. Is he Darren McFadden from 2 years ago that was really, really good, or the one last year that, like, 3.3 yards per carry? It ain't nothing. So, if he's playing like Shade, you look like Shade. Wes Welker, he's got Eric Decker and Demaryius Thomas to compete with. And basically, the other thing, too, is your opponent has Peyton Manning. As soon as Peyton Manning if he throws a touchdown to Welker, yes, Welker gets more points, but he softens the blow because he also gets points. I know that really that kind of doesn't matter, but it's still something to consider. Julio Jones, again, another one. He's a really good player when you look at his overall stats. But as I'm sure 2.5 men can tell you, some weeks he is really, really good. Some weeks he doesn't do shit. He's basically that tight. And then you got Maurice Jones-Drew, too. Who knows what he's going to do? I mean, he's kind of a really big question mark. Is he going to be Jones-Drew that people have always known in fantasy football land? Or is he going to be something new that we don't like anymore? And same with Team Roy. Darren Sproles, he's going to, for PPR reasons... Oh, I must knock over my vodka. Let's move this. Team Roy, what was I saying? I don't remember. Reggie, no, had nothing about him. Darren Sproles, you know, he's going to get used, especially at this PPR format. That really helps you. Move this chair back. Where was I? Okay, and then Torrey Smith could be something there. He doesn't have Anquan Bolden to compete with. Hey, and Dennis Pitta's out too. Who are they going to throw the ball to? My guesses are Torrey Smith, Ed Dixon if he plays, and Ray Rice. But we'll get to that in a second. Oh, I already got past him. But Ray Rice is going to be good. Anywho, Kyle Rudolph against Detroit. Another player. You know, Ian Foster carried him last year. Fact of the matter is, you know, some weeks he's really good, and some weeks he was invisible. Like he didn't exist. So it's really going to come down to a lot of things. And Mike Wallace, some people like him, some people don't. So I think this is a very good matchup, and it's very even keel. I think that someone is going to maybe have a big game on one of these teams, and that's really going to be the difference maker. So that's that. So as I said, I give the nod to Hernandez and change, but really that's really nothing because it could go either way. Ay caramba! That's some good shape. Oh shit! I've seen colors. Anyhow, what's going on? Where am I? There I am. Next matchup is Drink of Forte versus winner of the stupidest name I've ever heard in my life. I give you a winner. I give you a great team name, Mr. Bohack. I give you the name Russell Wilson's #1 fan. You took him first pick. You have to be his #1 fan. I don't think anyone else has ever done that in the history of football this year. Every draft, I guarantee you the only one. And you take that name and you change your name to American Joker to Señor Batman? For one, too fucking long. For two, it's stupid. It's not even funny. You want to fight me? Is that what you're trying to say? You have something against Señor Batman? Get out of here. Anywho, let's get to the matchup. This one they're projecting right... I'll get to that later. I was going to go ahead myself. But anywho, Drink Forte has Drew Brees, Doug Martin, Marshawn Lynch, Marquise Colston, Emmanuel Sanders, Greg Olsen, DeMarco Murray, Tavon Austin, Buccaneers D, and Justin Tucker versus... What the fuck happened there? I'm in space. Anywho, let's try this again. And this super fucking long name, American Joker to Señor Batman, has Russell Wilson, Matt Forte, Monty Ball, Roddy White, Hakeem Nicks, Vernon Davis, Steve Smith, Pierre Garcon, Bears D, and Blair Walsh. They are projecting right now for American Joker to Señor Batman. I'm going to change your name. I'm tired of already saying it. It's way too fucking long. Just be American Joker if you want to have that name. You don't need to be too Señor Batman. Everyone knows who I am. They don't need to know that. Why don't you go drink some more and make more stupid names? That's all I got to say to you. Anywho, they're projecting American Joker to Señor Batman to win by 1 point. I don't agree. I look at these teams, Drew Brees versus Russell Wilson. Drew Brees faces Atlanta. Russell Wilson faces Carolina. They're projecting them to get about the same points. No fucking way. I think Drew Brees has a huge game. Maybe not huge, but a bigger game than Russell Wilson, and not by just a point. Next, Doug Martin, Marshawn Lynch. Maybe one of the best running back tandems in this league. Faces off against Monte Ball and Matt Forte. Right now they're projecting Martin and Lynch to both get about 16 points, and they project Forte and Ball to get about 10 points for Forte and 11.5 for Monte Ball. In what world are you guys living in, ESPN? Monte Ball is going to get more than Matt Forte? Are you drunk? I'm fucking drinking, and I know that's not even... I'm not even that crazy. I know this shit. I mean, what are you got? Monte Ball might not even get a chance to even really do shit. The fact of the matter is, the Denver Broncos offense is no huddle. So if he's not on the field, they might just say, fuck that guy, and go with freaking Ronnie Hillman. Or they might go with Noshawn Marino, who's better in pass protection. What are you guys thinking, ESPN? Whoever made these projections should be shot in the face. It's injustice. I might even take care of this myself. I am Señor Batman. Anywho, so I really think that the edge so far goes to Drink Forte. Then you got Marquise Colston and Emmanuel Sanders, gives Roddy White and Hakeem Nicks. Now, with that being said, I do think that the edge goes to this one. I'm not going to say your name anymore. I'm tired of your shit. That guy. So he's at the edge at receiver. But at tight end, you got Greg Olsen versus Seattle versus Vernon Davis versus Green Bay. They are projecting Davis to get double the points as Greg Olsen. Don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to be a little bit closer. Moving to the flex. DeMarco Murray and Tavon Austin versus Steve Smith and Pierre Garcon. That, I think, is also very close. I'll give the edge to American Joker to Señor Batman. Next, you got Buccaneers D against the Jets. And Bears D versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a better team than a lot of people, I think. Or realize, I should say. So, in my opinion, I think that the edge goes to the Bucs D this week. Unless the Bears just do some crazy shit like they did last year, which is very possible. You never know. Then you got Justin Tucker and whatever. I give the win to Drinka Forte. There's a reason why. It's not just because I hate your name, American Joker, the Señor Batman. It's because I think that he has a better team this week and better matchups. So you lose. Simple as that. I have nothing more to say to you. Change your team name. Just make it simpler. Holy shit. Let's go to the final matchup of the week. I like multiple orgasms. Hazy picture. Very nice. Anywho, let's get to the preview. Sorry, I'm a little fucking biased, alright? Fucking tripping over my goddamn word. Alright, multiple orgasms. Hayes. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Then Reggie Bush and Frank Gore. Des Bryant. Danny Amendola. Tony Gonzalez. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Chris Ivory, who I might add, is not the starter, although it might be a committee situation, so whatever. Seahawks D and Steven Gutowski. Pretty good. Then you got Team McGovern, who I'm just going to call 2.5 main, because that's better than Team McGovern. Cam Newton, CJ Spiller, Trent Richardson, Larry Fitzgerald, Victor Cruz, Zach Sudfeld, Eric Decker, Shane Vereen, Rames D, and Greg Zerling. They are projecting right now for it to be basically a point difference, 130 to 129 in favor of 2.5 main. I think that, oh man, it's a really good man. I don't really think Cam Newton's going to get 21 points against Seattle's defense. And Aaron Rodgers, I think, could probably do better than 18 points against San Francisco's defense. Yes, San Francisco's got one of the best defenses in the league. No shade. That's fucking truth. But the fact is, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in football. I'd say, or at least, if you look at the fantasy stats. I mean, I know Drew Brees scored more fantasy points last year, but Rodgers got it too. He's got some shit to do. He's got all his receivers. He's looking pretty good. He's got Eddie Lacy. If he pans out the way he should, you're looking pretty great. So I think I give the edge to the quarterback to multiple orgasms, even though ESPN disagrees. Then I'm going to go Reggie Bush and Frank Gore versus Spiller and Richardson. Obviously, that goes to 2.5 men. Spiller and Richardson could both end up being top 3 backs. It's possible. Whereas Reggie Bush and Frank Gore, I don't really think. I think they're more closer to top 10 than top 3. So that's my personal opinion. You don't fucking like it, then don't take it. It's simple as that. Next up, you got Victor Cruz and Larry Fitzgerald over here versus Des Bryant and Danny Amendola. The way I see it, Des Bryant, we have 2 injured receivers for one. Cruz on this side, Amendola on this side. Both questionable. If they both go, we'll just assume they do. I think that they're going to be pretty even, as ESPN projects. Next up, though, you have Larry Fitzgerald and Des Bryant. They project that it's going to be a 0.5 point difference. That's where I disagree. Des Bryant is going to get all the points, I think, this week. I think he's going to finish this week as the top fantasy football receiver. And that's basically it. I think that receiving-wise goes to multiple orgasms. So that's 2 out of the 3 positions. Next up, tight end. Sudfeld versus Gonzalez. You would think Gonzalez has the freaking, the veteran. He's a veteran tight end is what I'm basically trying to say. He's proven he can do what he does, and he's very good at it. Zach Sudfeld, undrafted free agent rookie, who's just been a big, huge preseason story. Fact is, Gronk isn't playing this week. Hernandez and Gel getting fucked in the ass. So basically, the way I see it, Sudfeld's the next tight end who Brady's going to want to throw to. Now, there's no Welker, there's no Brandon Lloyd, a lot of things are different in New England. So it's got to go to someone, and Sudfeld, I think, actually, I'm going to take here over Tony Gonzalez. I know that's fucking insane and probably crazy, but I do think that Sudfeld will end this week as someone that is everyone's mind is just fucking blown on. They're going to be like, holy shit, this guy is the main deal. People that don't really follow football so close, maybe aren't in fantasy football, will know who Zach Sudfeld is, after this week, in my opinion. Next up in the flex, you got Green Ellis and Ivory versus Decker and Shane Vereen. Another one that I think is really close, but I'm going to give the edge to 2.5 men because of Shane Vereen mostly. And Eric Decker, hey, you don't know. Once they get in that, like the 10, like the red zone, we'll say, because usually it's a little bit closer. But when they get in the red zone, Manning looks for Decker. Is that going to change to Welker? I don't know. That's what we need to see. But I'm going to say that Decker maybe gets a touchdown tonight. And Vereen, he's a PPR guy. So if he gets some receptions, if he's getting passed to and being used as a receiver even, they bring him out into the line to go for passes, that could be a really good pick. I don't think he's going to get 13 points, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't tell the future. If I did, I'd be a very rich man. Anywho, Chris Ivory, if he was a starter, I would maybe say this is a little more even, but because he's not, because he's the backup, and it may be a committee situation, it may not. Bilal Powell won the position, so I don't know what's going on there. And Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, who knows what's him? He's can be with Bernard, so he may lose some touches. He might not be as good. So Law Firm might not be the guy, but maybe this is the week that he tries to earn this job back, and he really wants that job to completely be his. So maybe you get that. But yeah, Chris Ivory, the thing about him is he's also facing Tampa defense, who was one of the best run defenses, if not the best, of all year last year, if you look at the stats. So the way I see it, that would be a tough matchup anyways. Seahawks D and Rams D, I would take Seahawks D all day. Although they're facing Carolina, for whatever reason, they're thinking Carolina's going to do really good against Seattle. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't fucking know. Next, you got Kostowski and Zerly. They are kickers. I don't fucking rate you. So basically, I think this is going to be a very close matchup. They do say it's going to be less than a point. They say the line is a point and a half. But the way I fucking see it is this could go either way. And I'm picking this as my upset of the week. Multiple Gorgasms wins this matchup. But it's going to come down to Monday Night Football, I think. If any of these guys, well, let me see. I don't even know if one of these guys even have anyone on Monday Night Football now that I think about it. Let me take a quick gander here. Okay, let's see nothing there. No. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't fucking know. But anyway, the main thing is this. I think this is going to come down to the last game, basically. Because these guys are going to be playing their aces off. So I think that by the end of Sunday night, I think this is going to be a very close matchup. And maybe the closest one other than Team Roy versus Hernandez and Chains. I think those will be two matchups. But really, it's hard to really gauge this because we haven't seen how these guys are going to perform this year. You know, are some of these guys that people are predicting to do really well? Are they really just a flash in the pan? They were just kind of, they look kind of good, but they're not? Or are we going to see more from these guys and they're actually going to be the guys that we like Zach Sudfeld. I predicted him to have a huge week this week. Better than Tony Gonzalez. Maybe best tight end in all week. But the fact of the matter is, it really comes down to if he actually performs the way he's supposed to. Or people are thinking he will. Because he's facing Buffalo. That's a hell of a matchup. Going against Buffalo, their defense isn't shit, but it's not great either. So, that's what I want to say there. So that's basically all of them. To go over it real quick, here are my winners one more time before we move on. First up, in the user pick versus RG3PO, RG3PO with a slight victory. Next, Slay City Slayers versus Team Megatron, Slay City Slayers with a definitive victory. Hernandez and Chains versus Team Roy, Hernandez and Chains with a slight victory. But like I said, that one's very so close that you really can't even do anything there. Sean Kyle, whoops, wrong, I gave you a wrong name. Sorry, sir. Rica Forte versus American Joker, Señor Batman. Make me sick. Rica Forte wins. And finally, my upset special of the week. Which really, I don't really know how much you can really say something's an upset when no one's even played. But Multiple Gorgasms versus defending champ, Team McGovern, a.k.a. 2.5 Men. Multiple Gorgasms wins. So I think that after this week, you'll have some pretty good matchups. And that's basically it, because there's no wrap-up, so that's it. Enjoy the games, and I will see you guys next week for the Week 1 wrap-up and Week 2 preview show. Adios!